Am I the asshole for telling my daughter's father that I will not be doing a quinceanera for her? Background. I'm 35, and have a 13, daughter who wants a quinceanera, and I'm not comfortable spending that much money on one event. I'm a Hispanic woman who was born in the US, so I'm not a traditional Mexican and my kids are Americanized. Here's where the issue comes. My daughter's father, 36, who lives with his mom, pays nothing in child support because he's in debt. Owes IRS credit card debt. I pay everything for my daughter: school activities, sports, hobbies, clothes, trips, you name it, I pay. I don't ask her dad because he's already paying child support for another son he has with an ex. I am fortunate that my fiancé and I make a good income and can afford to be debt-free by choosing to make wise money decisions. I have a full-time job, do contract work on the side, and part-time master's student at my local university, debt-free. My ex approached me when I dropped off my daughter and said that our daughter wants a quince and she wants a party where all her family is in one place. I told him I wasn't doing a quince, but I'd throw a party in our backyard, and he was invited. Our house is nice and our backyard was done a few years ago and is big. The other day he said that his cousin had a baby shower at a ranch style and that it's $3,000 for the venue for 250 people. On the phone I freaked because I have a lot on my plate and know how much work it takes to plan an event with a lot of people. He said his family is easily 100 people. I have a lot of family too, but I was only planning on inviting close family and friends. When I tell him, no, this is not a quinceanera but a party with food and DJ with tops 100 people, he tell me that I'm starting to really disappoint him, and I tell him that I have a lot going on and that I can't plan something that big with all the stuff I already do and that I don't want to spend a lot of money. Quinceaneras are a lot when you think of the dress, dolls, waltz, damas, band and etc. They're time consuming and a lot of money goes into them. He gave me $200 the other day and was planning to give me $100 each payday. He's never given me that much money for her since we separated when she was 1. I have final exams this week and I haven't been able to sleep for 2 nights thinking of all the stress this is causing me. Should I give him his money back and tell him that we should each do what we can for her on our own? He causes me stress and I swear talking to him is pointless because he makes me feel like I'm the bad person. Update. I was always planning to throw her a party. Not a lavish one but something nice in our backyard, which I told her dad that he was more than welcome to attend. Not the asshole. You should be having this party discussion with your daughter, not him. He's not really contributing much of anything, so he really doesn't get a say. And she's only 13, isn't a quince at 15? I'm super white sorry. You're stressing 2 years early for this party. Talk to your daughter and see what she really wants and would be comfortable with. Not the asshole. You want our child to have a quinceaneras? Fine, you plan it and you pay for it. I will buy her dress. Not the asshole, but you're being way too nice to him. The deadbeat dad who never has supported his kid is disappointed in you. He should be eternally grateful you aren't dragging him into court over and over since he hasn't paid a penny for his child. If he wants to throw her a quinceanera, he has 2 years to save up and plan it all. He and his hundreds of family members can take up a collection if needed. If you want to throw her a party and are the one paying for it, then it's the way you want, not him. If he wants a say, he has to pay. Also talk to your daughter and see what she actually wants. Not the asshole. He is an asshole for insisting that it fall on her shoulders. He is the father. If he wants to plan, organize, and host a birthday party for 100+ people, no one is stopping him. Info. Why is your daughter having a quince at 13, and not 15? Give him his tiny amount of money back, and tell him if his mom wants a quince, because that is what is going on her. The two of them can pay for it and consider it money out of the tens of thousands of dollars he owes you in back child support. When he refuses, let him know he is disappointing you, and you will be pursuing child support in court to pay for the party he insists that you throw with minimal money and zero effort from him. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for asking my fiancé to cut 200 people from his guest list? I, 31F, and my fiancé, 32 meters, recently got engaged. We have started making our guest list as part of our wedding planning. My fiancé is a very social guy. He's been in the restaurant industry for 10+ years and has made a lot of friends and business connections. On the other hand, you have me. I have a very small but close group of friends. I get overstimulated easily and have to prepare for big group interactions, and usually can only last a few hours before I need to wander off and recharge a little. We made our first pass at a guest list. I have about 45-50 people on my list. This includes mutual friends and their plus ones. These are the people I can't see this day happening without. He made his list and has close to 400 people on his. This includes people who he's met in business and wants to essentially shake hands and kiss babies with. I forgot to mention he's opening his own business soon. He said he will take another pass at the list and cut it down so we have 400 in total. The thought of this makes me physically ill. I want to be supportive and invite everyone he views as important to him, but there are a significant number of people on the list that I have never even met, some I haven't even heard of before this list. For context, we have been together for 2.5 years. I also saw names, and when I asked him who they were, he said, well, I was invited to their wedding 3+ years ago. Some people he only exchanges happy birthday with every year and says they need to be at the wedding. Again, I want to be supportive, but I have a hard time justifying paying $250+ per person on people I have never met and who he only says happy birthday to. I've tried explaining this to him, but I know we are both passionate people and sometimes I have a hard time expressing how things make me feel. I don't want to sound like I don't care about his friendships, but to me, some of his reasons for inviting people just seem childish or irrelevant. Ideally, I would like a wedding with 150 people. He wants closer to 500. I think I could do 250 without having a full panic attack and meltdown. I don't want to sound like a diva, but the thought of being around 200+ people I've never met and being the center of attention makes me want to crawl into a corner and hide. Last time I brought it up to him, he got really defensive and said I was making him feel like I don't care about the people who are important to him. I don't think that's the case, but am I the asshole for wanting him to cut down from 400 people to 200? Edit. I can't believe I have to say this. It's not about the money. It's about the number of people making me uncomfortable. We have two different personalities which day to day get along beautifully. We definitely compromise, and if we go out to a party with too many people or it becomes too much, he lets me set a time limit, social battery dying in 2 hours, or we skip events because I don't feel like people. For context, we both work in the food and beverage world. I have to be extremely outgoing and social at work, and it's exhausting. A wedding is already a highly emotional day. I don't want to increase that by feeling overwhelmed that a girl who introduced me to these two friends who we actually see every year at least 2 times a year needs to be at the wedding even though I haven't seen her in 3 years. Sorry, but I don't agree with that justification. The business contacts, some of them I agree with them coming. Some of them absolutely not. Truthfully, the business contacts aren't even the issue. It's the random friends that I've never met suddenly making the guest list. Edit 2. We live in a very large city and the cost of everything is high. Venues, even small ones, run $7K, $14K. The low-end venues don't even include any amenities like linen rental, and those fees don't even include tax. But again, the cost isn't my objection. Stop worrying about how I'm spending my money. Please. He treats your wedding as a networking opportunity. To him, it's a soft launch for his business without any regards for your feelings. I would be surprised if even half show up. I would not go to someone's wedding when I last saw them 3 years ago. I don't care about the people who are important to him. Not the asshole. 1. You're entitled to feel comfortable on your big day. 2. Sounds like he wants a business convention, not a wedding. 3. There's no way on earth he has that many people that are that important to him that they absolutely need to be there. 4. You're trying to compromise, he is trying to guilt you. 5. Time for him to figure out if you are truly his priority or these people you don't know are. Your wedding is not a place for your fiancé to network. You need to remind him that this day is about the two of you. It's not a business event. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. 400 people in one person's guest list sounds insane to me. I can't even name that many people. Your husband won't even have the time to talk to all of them during the wedding. Not the asshole, that's insane. A wedding should be for the people close in your life, family, friends. Not business associates and everyone you have ever met. Even 250 is a big wedding. If you have 400+, he won't be able to even say hello to everyone. It will be overwhelming for you, insanely expensive, and just too much. When my husband and I got married, we paid for the whole wedding. He was in a business world where he knew hundreds of people. We knew we couldn't accommodate everyone who thought they should be there. We excluded way more people than we invited. Our criteria was family, lifelong, long-time close friends, people who knew and cared about both of us and we happy to see us marry. The last group excluded the most people as there were more people who just wanted free food and something to do on a Saturday than really caring that we were getting married. You should tell him to have a second party, reception on another day for his schmooze group. One somewhere you can step into another room with a small group of people who care about you and let him network. Am I the asshole for not letting my kids visit their grandparents? Am I the asshole for not allowing my kids to see their grandparents for Christmas break? Hello, everyone. I posted on here a couple of months ago after my ex's wife staged a religious intervention when my son decided he wanted to embrace Judaism and be bar mitzvahed. Post is still under my profile if anyone wants specifics. My ex and I share 3 children, Amy, 18, Tom, 16 and Ben, 15. The people responding to that first post helped me to see that I was underreacting, and I met with a lawyer for a custody order as we had just done our own thing. I now have full decision-making for our children's religious upbringing and full custody. X has visitation every other weekend. I have been incredibly flexible and let him take them pretty much whenever he or the kids want. On his weekend I stay with my parents and he stays in the house. Only rule I made was the stepmother is not around them at all. Ever. My kids are very close with their paternal grandparents. GPs know that stepmother is not to be around them, but twice when I picked them up she was there. Excuse was that she had just popped in quickly to drop off the baby. I asked them to let me know when they were sitting and we would plan a different day, but they said that it was a last-minute thing. Okay, fine. They want them to come for a 5-day visit over Christmas break, not 24/25, and I cannot trust that this woman will not come over. Ben still gets incredibly anxious with her. Yes, he is in therapy. My in-laws refuse to tell her that she cannot come over because they say they do not want to be put in the middle, and that it's making them choose between their gran. I reached out to my ex, who said that since she isn't coming over for long he's not stopping it. He also said that there is nothing in the order that she can't be around, and as his wife and mom of their sibling there's no reason that she should have to tiptoe around. He was incredibly dismissive, and I went nuclear on him. I told him that I have been letting him see them whenever despite only having 2 weekends a month, that he was married to a sociopathic zealot, and that if she continued to come around I would go back to court and ask for supervised visits and a restraining order against her. He hung up. Then I asked the kids what they wanted. Come to find out the woman has been coming around a lot. Amy said their grandparents asked them not to say anything to not upset me. I told my daughter that as an adult she can go, but that her brothers would not be. Ben's look of relief broke my heart. Amy said and she felt weird when Step showed up. Tom said he's with Ben. Called XMIL, told her that the children not be coming back until they chose to. I said they were welcome to come over to see them. I said they were significant other wrong to ask the kids to keep secrets. They called my ex, who berated me for punishing his parents. Stepmom sent me a text saying I was unfair. I think I'm right, but everyone else thinks I'm ta. Am I? Not the asshole. You're protecting your kids, especially Ben, who has clearly been deeply affected by the stepmother's actions. If the grandparents and your ex can't respect the boundaries that are in place to support your children's emotional well-being, then you're well within your rights to limit contact. It's not about punishing anyone, it's about ensuring a safe, stable environment for your kids, particularly since they've been asked to keep secrets, which is completely inappropriate. Not the asshole. They have proven that they can't be trusted to protect your minor children, and as their custodial parent, you're doing what you have to do to keep them safe. Period. This isn't a punishment, it's consequences, and people who are asking to spend time with children should absolutely know the difference. Quite frankly, anyone who asks a child to keep a secret from their parents, especially a secret that involves explicitly going against the boundaries set forth by the parent, is someone who shouldn't be spending time alone with that child. Not the asshole. Your children are old enough to set their own boundaries. If they don't want to go to GPs and or interact with stepmom, they shouldn't be forced to. This is a critical teaching moment about boundaries and respect. Protect your children as best as you can, including legally, if ex and stepmom insist on stomping all over the boundary set. GPs are also boundary stompers and can't be trusted. Not the asshole. Not only are you following your children's wishes, but they lied to you and asked your children to lie to you. If they want to call it punishing them, fine, they were the one who let stepmother over against your wishes. Their choice, they get to live with the consequences. Not the asshole, and those stupid grandparents just shot themselves in the foot, didn't they? What else have they been lying to you about and asking the kids not to tell you? Good people do not ask children to lie to their parents. Not the asshole. Anyone who asks to minors to keep secrets from a custodial parent, aside from the obvious, Christmas and the like, is not to be trusted. Am I the asshole for telling my mother to grow a backbone and stand up to my brother and his wife? Am I the asshole for telling my mother to grow a backbone and stand up to my brother and Sil? I, F18, live at home with my mother, F51. I have 2 older brothers, twins, both are M24. For the sake of this post I'll call them John and Tom. Both are married and have a baby. John's wife is Ava, F23, and Tom's wife is Gia, F24. John and Ava have been married for around a year, and Tom married Gia earlier this year. My mom is a little obsessed with Christmas. Our family has a lot of Christmas traditions and we often go all out with celebrations. The other week, my mom hosted a Christmas film night at our house, as is our family tradition. She invited John, Ava with their baby. She invited Tom over text and he said he cannot go as he is working, but suggested that she talk to Gia directly, as she may like to go. This caused John and Ava to get unsettled, and they said Tom doesn't get to just choose who goes, and they asked my mom to not invite Gia, otherwise she's setting a bad precedent. My mom chose to accept this and didn't invite her, and kept the film night a secret from her. Shit hit the fan recently because Gia found out she had been excluded through a post made by Ava on Facebook. She had plans on that day anyway with her own parents, but said it would have been nice to have at least been invited. She's very upset with my mom and John and Ava. I've now been caught in the crossfire because Gia has been asking me why I didn't say anything to her about this. Tom is also upset with us and said that we are all bullies. This has caused tension between me and my mom, because I feel like I'm being held responsible for what she chose to do. Last night, John came round to get Ava's lipstick that she had forgotten at our house, and he was making very rude, unprompted comments about Gia. He said that she's a dramatic bitch and that he can't believe his brother is with someone like her. I told John that I really don't want to listen to this and that I think he's being unfair to Gia. John just started tutting and sighing and left. This caused an argument between me and my mom because she said that I was snarky to John and I shouldn't speak to him that way. I said I thought I was being perfectly reasonable and he shouldn't be so rude. I told my mom she needs to grow a backbone and that this whole situation is because she didn't have one, and that she needs to stand up to John and his wife. My mom said that I don't know what I am talking about and to mind my own business. I feel like I am going crazy here, especially since all of this is over a stupid film night. Am I really the asshole? Info. Why is your family treating Gia like an outsider? She's married to your brother. Is there something she's done to cause this, or are they just jerks cause she's new? Not the asshole. Your mom does indeed need to grow a backbone. She caves under pressure about invites. Her own son was calling someone a B in front of her, but it's you she singles out for being rude? I also think you need to take a much firmer stance yourself on that behavior. Instead of, I really don't want to listen to this, I'd start saying things like, so you want to call people names behind their backs? So brave. I wonder how you'd feel if someone said that about your wife. Or, you will not be calling people names and acting like a child. Why in the world would Gia not be invited just because Tom had to work? It is John and Ava who thought they had the right to decide who was coming. Ick. Not the asshole. Why couldn't your mom send a group text that included all the children and their spouses so no one person is responsible for communicating or forgetting to communicate an invitation? Tell Gia like it is. That your mom wanted to invite her but John and Ava told her not to, and that your mom just went along with what they wanted. My verdict is not the asshole. Not the asshole. This is not about a stupid film night. This is about your mom being an asshole and a toxic liar. If Tom has any sense, he and Gia won't visit your asshole family over Christmas. Your mom and that asshole John broke up the family. I've now been caught in the crossfire because Gia has been asking me why I didn't say anything to her about this. Tom is also upset with us and said that we are all bullies. They're halfway IGTH. True, you have clearly chosen sides. But tell them they should direct their anger at Mom and John, because you are still living at home and were caught in the crossfire. The main asshole here is your mom. Tell her not to come crying to you when she does NTO get to see her grandchild anymore.